Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Ron Couming from RCS Technology Solutions on the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show, heard weekly at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. On WCAP 980 a.m. We are also streamed live over the Internet and the TuneIn radio. Our second guest today is Ron Adams. And Ron Adams is a CPA extraordinaire. Today he's going to talk to us about the business valuations and also some IRS codes you might want to be aware of so you can pass on your business, your hard-earned business, to your kids with less damage done. Ron, how you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Ron. Thank you very much.
Pull up the mic. How you doing, Ron?
I'm doing very well, and thank you for inviting me.
Okay, excellent, Ron. We couldn't hear you for a second. I forgot to press the green button.
You always got to remember that green button, right?
Got to go from green to red. That's what I tell people when they have a call to action on their website. Always make it, red, and then when they click it, it turns to green. That way there, because nobody ever goes from green back to red, so nobody will X out, especially if you have like an e-commerce site. Tell us about your business, how you got started, some of your experiences.
Yes, thanks, Ron. I've been a certified public accountant since 1980, so I've got some 36 years of experience in that arena. But in 1993, I started doing business valuations for various purposes. My company is Foxboro Consulting Group, Inc. We're located in Mansfield, Massachusetts, and we specialize in business valuations, commercial and industrial appraisals, as well as the valuation and appraisal of industrial machinery and equipment.
Wow, that's pretty good. And but that's also, to break that down for people in addition, now this is also a way people can raise funds. If they own a company and they want to have money come in without having to borrow it, they could have their company valued by you, have a valuation done, and then sell a piece of it to a third or a fourth person to come in, and knowing what it's worth by hiring you, they could sell it to someone and grow their business without taking on additional debt.
Yes, exactly. Currently, we work with many types of small and medium-sized business owners. Anyone that has a business earning $250,000 in sales all the way to $100 million. And typically, these businesses are organized as either corporations, what's known as a C corporation, S corporations, limited partnerships, limited liability companies, and other closely held corporations. We work with a number of business owners that are getting up there in age, and one of their concerns is, well, I've grown this business, I've developed it, and I'm thinking of slowing down. I'd rather play a little more golf and maybe spend the winters in Florida and start to relax and retire, if they will.
Down in Boca Raton, Delray, my goal is St. Croix, but...
Key West is not bad either.
Nice.
But in any event, they'll call us in and ask us to value their business. And usually they've got two strategies in mind. 2 or 3 strategies. One is to gift the ownership interest to their heirs or kids or children, or to sell their business to key employees and transition it over like a 3 to 5 year period. Or, if they want to really enjoy a liquidity event, they'll seriously think about possibly selling the business to a third party. And that's where we come in. We help them value their business.
Excellent. And that's great to know, because if you spend your whole life building a business, and even if you want to continue in your business, but, you're hitting 60, 65, 70, you got another 30 years worth of life, but you don't want to be working every day. And you certainly don't want to, whatever you spent 10, 20, 30, 15 years, whatever it was building, upon your, demise, you don't want 50, 60, 80% of it to disappear. Is there some strategies that that are legal that can help people save money upon their transfer?
Sure. One of the strategies, and we work with a lot of gift and estate tax attorneys, is to begin gifting ownership interest in their companies to their children or heirs over time. They may, for example, in the current year, gift 2, 5, or 10% of the business to their to their heirs via a gift, and they'll file the appropriate tax return to do that. As part of that process, they need an appraisal or valuation of that ownership interest in order to do that and to file that with their gift tax return. So we work quite closely with the attorneys who advise and assist in that whole process. There's a current regulation which was put out in August of 2016 by the Internal Revenue Service, and it's Section 2704, Regulation 163113-02, where it proposes to do away with the discounts that have been previously allowed for family-owned businesses and the transfer of those ownership interests to the family next generation. Typically in the past, those discounts have ranged anywhere from 25 to 40, 45% of the business valuation. Why is that important? Well, currently the federal exemption for estate planning is $5.3 million of exemption. So what that says is if you have a business that's worth $10 million and 5.3 is the exemption, 4.7 million of that value of that business will be subject to estate tax for an individual owner. That state tax could range from anywhere from 30 to 40%, depending on what tax bracket you're in.
Wow.
So it's important that's
almost like 1.5 million for a newbie like me. I mean, that's easy math.
It's clearly going to be an increase in taxes for folks in the baby boomer generation that have businesses and that are going to transfer that wealth to the next generation. So it would behoove those business owners, if they're seriously thinking about either gifting ownership interest in their business to their children, to do that now in 2016, as opposed to wait until if this proposed regulation becomes law in 2017. It could be a huge impact on your tax liability.
Yeah, and so there is some things that people need to be aware of. I mean, as you're in business, as most of our listeners, I believe, are business owners or entrepreneurs or people who want to be at some point. One of the things is you want to make money. Sales solves all problems is one of my favorite sayings. Since I'm in internet marketing, I drive traffic to people's websites so they can make money. But after you've made that money, I mean, you've got to pay taxes. Everybody's got to pay their fair share. But whatever the fair share is all you got to pay. So when you know the rules to what is allowed and what isn't allowed, that can help you, opposed to being ignorant of the rules. So having someone like you can really help somebody down the line.
Yes, we work with many small and medium-sized business owners over the year. Our geographic reach is all of New England, Metro New York, Northern New Jersey, Northern Pennsylvania, but we will travel to any place in the country to help folks out.
Especially Key West?
Especially Key West in February and March.
I'm going to St. Croix for 2 months,
I
right?
am very jealous, Ron, very jealous. I'll carry your bags.
Yeah, well, because internet marketing, I can work anywhere, I can work anywhere there's an internet connection. So, but also now, if somebody's in business, because that's like at the end stage, after they've already been successful, I'd like to give some advice to people who, if possible, you'll be giving them the advice, but if it's possible, like, if they have a business and it's worth, let's say, $300,000 in sales a year, or maybe even just $100,000, they want to grow their business, and there's two of them. What could they possibly do? Bring in a third person who would then give them money that they could then use to grow the business collectively. How could they divvy that up? They would first have a business valuation and then would they become an investor, a partner? How would that work?
Yeah, typically one of the tasks or situations that we're called in on is when partners bring in maybe a third partner or a fourth partner who will make an equity contribution into the business to buy in an ownership share. Or conversely, if you have a retiring partner, the younger partners will need to buy out that ownership interest in the retiring partner's share. So, there's a couple different strategies you can utilize in order to maintain control of the business as opposed to giving up shares of stock and diluting your control interest. One of those strategies is to maybe set up two different types of common stock. One would be voting, and the other stock would be non-voting. Clearly, the voting shares are worth more on a pro rata basis than the non-voting shares, simply because the owner of the voting shares has the ability to control all of the executive decisions and management initiatives of running a business. That could be from hiring people, firing people, making capital expenditures, declaring dividends, and all of those kinds of management decisions. Clearly, the voting shares control all that aspect of the business. But at the same time, you could use non-voting shares to bring in new equity partners who will participate in the income and dividends of the business. And also, if there is a liquidity event and the business is bought out by a larger corporation, they will participate in the share of those proceeds from the buyout of the business. But the control rests with the voting shareholders.
Ron, you clearly know your stuff. And I know that Mark Zuckerberg recently did something similar because he wanted to donate a ton of money, like hundreds of millions or something. And so he did something similar with the stock you're talking about, where one is A or B or something. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I am.
Could you talk? We got like 4 minutes left, and I want to make sure everybody gets your contact info.
Okay. Do you want me to give you the contact info now, or just...
Well, we know it's Ron Adams, Foxboro Consulting.
Yes, it's Ron Adams. I'm a CPA, and I'm also certified in business valuation. And my company is Foxboro Consulting Group, Inc. The website is www.foxboro-consulting.com, and you can call us at 774-719-2236.
Excellent, and it is a great website too. By the way, I looked at it earlier today, and it's stunning. It's graphs, it's content. Whoever did that for you, I really did an outstanding job.
Well, there's this genius named Ron Couming from RCS.
Is that what we call a shameless?
Solutions.
Is that what we
Walks
call
on water? The best thing since sliced bread.
Is that what we call a shameless plug? All right, we got to go to break. This is Ron Couming from RCS Technology Solutions, where we help businesses achieve even greater success. You've been listening to our guest today, Ron Adams from Foxboro-consulting.com, business evaluation, CPA extraordinaire. I know him personally, and he's an outstanding human being. Thanks.